All right, I'm testing this out. I'm testing it out, see how this works. Probably gonna read a few pages of this and um, yeah, publish it, see how it looks, make some changes. I'm not posted on all my platforms right now, so I'm still trying to figure that out. One thing at a time, because that's what happened last time I tried to stream. I want to post videos and my live drawings, but we're gonna start slow. We're gonna see if this works first. Um, yeah, let's try it. See what happens. So this is what we're going to be working on. I'm going to see how well this records, how well it's able to capture here what I'm trying to do. I don't know. We'll see. Do a couple pages. See if I can highlight. One morning, when Gregor Samsa woke from troubled dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a horrible vermin. He lay on his armor-like back, and he lifted his head a little. And if he lifted his head a little, he could see his brown belly, slightly domed and divided by arches into stiff sections. The bedding was hardly able to cover it, and seemed ready to slide off any moment. His many legs, pitifully thin compared with the size of the rest of him, waved about helplessly as he looked. What happened to me, he thought. It wasn't a dream. Um, it's a little slow. Maybe it needs to warm up a little. It's a little slow. It's really slow. Yeah. Um, so drawing doesn't look like it's possible, but let's get to this page. See what happens. It what happened to me? He thought it wasn't a dream. His room, a proper human room, although a little too small, lay peacefully between its four familiar walls. A collection of textile samples lay spread out on the table. Samsa was a traveling salesman, and above it there hung a picture that he had recently cut out of an illustrated magazine and housed in a nice gilded frame. It showed a lady fitted out with fur hat and a fur boa, who sat upright, raising a heavy fur muff that covered the whole of her lower arm towards the viewer. Gregor then turned to look out the window at the dull weather. Drops of rain could be heard hitting the pane, which made him feel quite sad. How about if I sleep a little bit longer and forget all this nonsense, he thought. But that was something he was unable to do because he was used to sleeping on his right, and his present state couldn't get into that position. However hard he threw himself onto his right, he always rolled back to where he was. He must have tried it 100 times, shut his eyes so that he wouldn't have to look at the floundering legs, and only stopped when he began to feel a mild, dull pain there that he had never felt before. Oh God, he thought, what a strenuous career it is that I've chosen. Traveling day in and day out. Traveling day in and day out. Doing business like this takes much more effort than doing your own business. I haven't tried the text type, so business at home, and on top of that, there's the curse of traveling. Worries about making train connections, bad and irregular food, contact with different people all the time, so you can never get to know anyone, become friendly with them. It's all go to hell. He felt a slight itch up on his belly. Push. himself slowly up on his back towards the headboard so that he could lift his head better. Found where the itch was and saw that it was covered with lots of little white spots, which he didn't know what to make of. And when he tried to feel the place with one of his legs, he drew it quickly back because as soon as he touched it, it was overcome by a cold shudder. He slid back into his former position. Getting up early all the time, he thought, it makes you stupid. You've got to get enough sleep. Other traveling salesmen live a life of luxury. For instance, whenever I go back to the guest house during the morning to copy out the contract, these gentlemen are always sitting there eating their breakfasts. I ought to just try that with my boss. I get kicked out on the spot. But who knows? Maybe that would be the best thing for me. If I didn't have my parents to think about what I'd given, if I didn't have my parents to think about, I'd have given in my notice a long time ago. I'd have gone up to the boss and told him just what I think, tell him everything I would, let him know just what I feel. He'd fall right off his desk. And it's a funny sort of business to be sitting up there at your desk talking down at your subordinates from up there, especially when you have to go right up close because the boss is hard of hearing. Well, there's still some hope. Once I've got the money together to pay off my parents' debt to him, another 5 or 6 years, Okay, that's our experiment. This is good. I like this line here. I haven't read it in this format before, so I'm kind of getting used to this. Because I also have it in print, and I also have this in other um, copies on Kindle, I think. I like what he's doing here. He kind of, it's got that, it sounds like he really overthinks. I don't know how it came to that. But